Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us this evening. So tonight we're having actually one of our last sessions with the exam preparation workshops. After this, we will focus more on giving you one-on-one help with our last session. That will be on Thursday evening. But yes, just a quick introduction. My name is Richard Wright, and I'm joined here tonight with my colleague, David Harpestad. And then later on, we will also have people from admin join us or from exam support that will also be able to assist you. But so please use this session. So in the chat, let us know if there's anything specific that you still want to know. Also, let us know if you uh, what proctoring tool you will use. So if you know already what proctoring tool you will use, just pop the name in so that we know on which tools to focus on a little bit more this evening. And then also, if you have written exams already, let us experience any difficulties you might have had or any great successes you might also have experienced with the examinations. So firstly, I'm just going to ask you, yes, so let me just go back here. To please complete the pre-course assessment while we're busy with the introductions. I will post it in the chat as well. So you can just open up the link from the chat while we're doing the introductions. So let me just copy it here quickly. So I see we don't have such a big crowd this evening. Okay, please explain the Invigilator app. So yes, David will definitely explain the Invigilator app to you in depth. And then we will focus here on those ones. So we'll see with regard to logging in on my exam portal, it says undefined user. Okay. Numbuso, I will show you what might be the problem. Remember, there is quite a few exam portals, so you might be actually logging into the wrong exam portal. But I'll show you how to make sure that you are logging into the correct one. Yeah, phone. We'll definitely cover that in the Invigilator app section. So please, yes, let us know in the chat if there's anything specific you want to know, and we will definitely focus on that section or a little bit more when we get to it. Now, just to quickly go through the program for this evening. So we're first starting with the welcoming, and then how to access the myExams support site. This is where you're basically going to go to learn how the tools work, how to set them up, and then also we're going to focus on how you find out which proctoring tool you will use with the proctoring lookup tool. Still the requirements of the profile photo on my modules. What's just some hints on required devices. And then we will go through the different proctoring tools. So we will start with Moodle proctoring. Then we will go into Iris, Invigilator app, and then finally Iris as well. I just want to see here quickly. We got some feedback on somebody's experience. Before and just refresh the page, assumed the Iris did not work. The number on the exam paper does not exist. I had to get numbers from elsewhere. We were on the phone for 1.5 hours. Yeah, that's very interesting. Sarita, if you can share us what error you had, please share that as well. I do know yesterday, for some reason, there was the systems also gave quite a lot of problems. So we will give you feedback as well from the exam committee once we get that feedback of what happened yesterday and what is the way forward with that regard. Oh, iOS just did not start. Okay, we can have a few looks of why that might be, and also perhaps also try a different browser depending on which one you use, Google Chrome or the, Microsoft Edge. But then later on, once we covered all the proctoring tools, so if you still want to know how to access the exams, so definitely There we get the error undefined user. We'll show you the correct way to do it, and also, to the different types of exams to expect. And then finally, we're going to cover also where to find support and the correct methods to get through support. Hopefully, with the correct numbers still, so you can get support very, very quickly. So everybody is Moodle proctoring, so definitely listen up when we get to Moodle proctoring as well. Luckily, Moodle proctoring is one of the easiest to do. So let's start with the first step. So this is preparation for the examination. Now, first, I want you to be able to access the support site. So I'm going to put the links in the chat as well. So I'm going to put two links. One is to the Open Learning Management System, My Student Skills Hub, and the other one will take you directly to the exams guides that we have. And the exam guides link to the mock exams that you can test out. So if I go in my browser, I'm just going to open up this one quickly. So you can actually type in directly My Student Skills Hub and just search for it, and it will be the first result that you get. So, but otherwise, as you can see, the URL is adovh.unisa.ac.za. So the link is in the chat as well. So once you open up this link, it will My Student Skills Hub. You'll notice there's quite a few courses that we run on here. These are all open courses, and it falls under co-curricular activities. So that means you can actually get a transcript for this. That's with the official UNISA to show that you have completed these. But the one that we're going to focus on this evening is the myExams guides. So if you click on the link of the myExams guides, it is going to require you to log in. So make sure you just press on the continue button. It will open up the login screen. Since you are UNISA students writing exams, you click on yes. And then you click on this use my UNISA account. Now this is your My Life account. So when you sign in with your student number at mylife.unisa.ac.za, and then you also use your myUNISA password. So please do this. If you have problems, you could write to us at adovh@unisa.ac.za. So it's exactly like the URL of the LMS. It's just the dot is a at, and then we can assist you with logging in. Now, why is it so important to be able to log in here? Because if you can't log in here, you will also experience problems logging into the myExams portal. Because as we mentioned, they use different instances, so it will require you to log in the first time. So you need to be able to get that code to enable you to log in. So once you're logged in, if you look at the left navigation, there is quite a lot of resources on here, but you can easily skip through to the ones that you really need assistance with. For instance, the proctoring tools that we will cover later, but also if you need to know how you upload your my picture on my modules, all of that is covered within these sections. So I really recommend doing it from the start, working through the lessons, and then you will have a very good understanding of how all of them work. Now, I also want to highlight under lesson 7 is the links to the mock exams. And I also want to really emphasize that you do not need to know all the proctoring tools. You only focus on the ones that you will be using for your exam. Because some of them, like the Invigilator app, they must actually assign a license to you. So you won't be able to create an account on that specific device. The same is with Iris proctoring that we saw a few mentions here. With Iris proctoring, it's only used by the College of Science, Engineering, Technology. So if you're not in the College of Science, Engineering, Technology, you're not going to use that specific proctoring tool. You'll either use the Moodle proctoring or the take-home assignment. So that's why it's so important to know which proctoring tool you will be using for your examinations. So just to get ready for proctoring, you need to know one of the requirements is still you need to upload a profile picture on my modules. And the second one is that uh, you know how to use the exam or proctoring tool to see exactly what proctoring tools you will be using. So firstly, I'm just going to highlight the profile photo. Remember, this is only on my modules. So you're not going to upload this on the exams portal. The photo will also not appear there. So don't worry about it as long as your profile photo is on myUnisa. So all you do with this one to set it up, and you only set it up once in your UNISA journey, is you log in to my modules. You click on your username and you click on profile. Then it will have a button to show edit profile. Once you click on the edit profile, you scroll down to where it says use a picture, and you simply upload a picture where your face is clearly visible. So unfortunately, you may not use any other types of photos from your pets or anything like that. It needs to be where your face is clearly visible for them to compare it with AI to make sure it is you that's writing the exam. So if your picture is also, sometimes if you take a picture of your phone, it might rotate it so that it actually lies on its side. All you need to do in that case is you crop it more or less a square and then upload it, or alternatively just take a landscape picture and it will then display correctly. So if we look at the guides that's online, so if you scroll down to, let's look here, the proctoring section. So this is lesson 3 where we now uploading your My Modules profile picture. We've got step-by-step, how can I say, guides for it. So you can, and also a very short video to show you exactly how to do it. So depending on your method you prefer to learn, you can either watch the short video that's at the end, or you can just quickly scroll through here and view all the steps. So as we mentioned, on My Modules, click on your profile name, click on profile, and then edit profile. So it's got this big yellow button now that you click on, and then you scroll down to use a picture. You upload a picture. It must be JPEG, gives all the regular picture formats. Just remember, yeah, when it comes to selecting the file, you need to be on upload a file, and then you choose a file from your device. So it can be from your mobile or your desktop. Now, then you upload this file, and very importantly, you need to scroll down all the way then to the bottom and click on update profile, and your picture will show automatically in the top right. So remember, this is to do on my modules, not my exams. So just remember that one, and you only do this once. So if you have done it last year or the beginning of the year, you don't need to do this again. And then the second one I really want you to focus on is what proctoring tool will my modules use. So I'm going to copy the link of this one as in as well. So if you do not know yet, you can come and find out on this tool. So I'm just going to copy the URL quickly, post it for you in the chat. So if you want to follow along on your device, you can always do so. So all you do on this tool, it's been updated for this exams, as there's quite a few changes with the modules, but you just type in your module and it will then display to you exactly what proctoring tool you will use with a link to where you can access it. So you can basically you type in any of the modules and it will tell you exactly which proctoring it will use. Now, what I also want you to highlight is the college. So college science, engineering, technology, as we mentioned, is IRIS. So if you're also unsure which college you are, you can just type in your module code and it will tell you in which college that specific module is in. And this will become important once we're going to look at how do you actually access your exam instance for your exams. So please go and do this. Use the tool. Look it up quickly. It's also on your exam timetable. Now, just a note on the exam timetable. Let me just quickly log to browser here. For those of you who are unsure how to get your exam timetables, all you need to do is go to myAdmin. So that's the same place where you access my modules. So I'm just going to drag it over here quick. And there we go. So you just go to my UNISA, and then if you log into my admin, so not my modules, you have to put in your student number and your my UNISA password. Then you log in from here. Now, once you're logged into my admin, all your information is under assessment admin. So from here, you can get your exam results and very importantly, also your exam timetable. So always download this. I would say definitely now is a good time to download it. For if there is any updates, it would have gone through already. So this is a good time to just make sure the dates and all of that is still correct. A lot of students sometimes download it a month before the exam, and then there's some minor changes as we get closer to the examinations. So just for all of those who still don't know your proctoring tools or which modules you'll be writing, just make sure you log into my admin. So first things first, know which proctoring tool you're going to use, because as we mentioned, you only focus on the ones that you will be using. Now, just a quick note on devices. And this becomes important for the proctoring tools as well. So for instance, if you are using the Invigilator app, and you're going to use your mobile device for the Invigilator app while you write out your examination, or if you're going to be using Moodle, you're going to do your MCQ type of assessments directly on your mobile. Remember, preferably a device that's not older than 5 years, got the latest update, and it's got a working camera. And the microphone and sound is specifically for the Invigilator app, where that needs to work. But for Moodle proctoring, you just need a working camera. If you are, for instance, using Iris, you are only going to be able to use a desktop or laptop device. And remember, these devices must also have a working camera, a webcam, a microphone, unfortunately no headsets, and it must have sound and obviously connectivity as well. It must be able to run productivity apps such as Office fairly well to make sure that you've got enough, how can I say, speed and resources to run the proctoring tool in the same time. So it must also have the latest Chrome or Microsoft Edge. So Invigilator app, students, you will most likely use Microsoft Word to write out your assessment while the app is running next to you. And I saw a question earlier, must the phone face me or what? Nope, it can just be flat, and so long as you can hear the announcements as it goes through. But we will cover exactly how it works a bit later. So make sure that you've got a working device that you can use for the examinations. If you don't have one, it's always good to borrow one as well for the day. You can set all of this up on the device and remove it afterwards from the person that you borrowed it from. So as we mentioned, there are 3 types of proctoring tools. First one, Moodle proctoring, only used for MCQ exams. So that means you know you're going to get a quiz type of assessment. Second one is the Invigilator app, and they call it take-home exams, but this is basically written exams. That's the assignments to where you write something in Microsoft Word or by hand, you scan it in or save it as PDF, and then you upload it. Then the last one is Iris Invigilation, and this, as we mentioned, is only used by College of Science, Engineering, Technology, and some CTA students also use, or they do use it for CTA exams specifically, but otherwise it's just the College of Science, Engineering, Technology that uses it, and they use it for both MCQ and take-home exams. So there you know you're going to use this specific tool, doesn't matter what. For the others, it depends on what type of assessment you do. It will either be Moodle proctoring or Invigilator app. So let's have a look at Moodle proctoring. So as we mentioned, this is only used for MCQ exam quizzes. This one captures your picture through the webcam or your camera on your device. So your device obviously needs a working camera. So if we look at the Moodle proctoring section, I'll copy the link for you now in the chat as well. So Moodle proctoring for me is the easiest one. You don't need to install anything as long as you've got a working camera. They still recommend it. Use Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome, depending on your preference, because you will know they're the most popular, so everything was tested on them. So we've under the course, we've got the step-by-step guide. I'm just going to show you a few things to look at. So firstly, you will get this message. To continue with this quiz attempt, you must open your webcam. So remember, webcam is your, if you've got a desktop, it will be your webcam. If you're using your phone or laptop, it will be the camera that's already built into it front facing. You will also then obviously need to allow the camera so that it can be run within the browser. And once you allow it, then you will actually be able to attempt the quiz now. Now, you'll get this pop-up message to say, I agree with the validation process, that they're going to be taking a picture during the session. And then you will be able to click the start attempt. So you need to click this box before clicking on start attempt. Then you navigate through the questions one by one, complete them until you reach the admission. So I'm going to scroll down here to the mock exam that we have. I'll share the link to this one as well. This is where you can make sure that your setup is working. So let me just copy this URL here at the top. Now just remember, with these mock exams and myExams, the first time you access it, it will give you a blue button, Enroll Me. Just click on the Enroll Me button, and then you will be able to easily access this page. Now, we've got the mock MCQ exam. We've also got one specifically for decision sciences, but we will just focus on the generic one that's used by most modules. So as we mentioned, MCQ, just think of quiz. It's going to use the quiz tool, but I'll show you a few things to take note of when you do it within your exams. So as we mentioned, it will have this message to say that it's using webcam. You must allow your camera. The first time you access it will actually give you a pop-up at the top that you must allow your camera. And then from there, you can actually start attempt the quiz. So you can actually, for this one, you can do it 10 times to make sure everything is working. And if you want to test it a little bit more, you can just let us know and we'll give you access. So here you can see I'm actually here in Pretoria, in a hotel room tonight. So the lights here is not that great. So in your case, let me see if I can switch on this light here, if it's got a switch. See if there's a switch. Oh, but I can't rotate it. Oh, wait, okay. So there, you can see me better. So sometimes when you write, still very dark. Okay. So sometimes when you write, it will give you a message to say you are not seen clearly. Just sit next to closer to the screen, perhaps put a light in the front. But remember, don't worry about it. As long as you can continue, as long as you can get past this first page, then you're good to go. So you tick that box, else you will not be able to click on the start attempt. So I'm going to agree to it, and then I'll start the attempt. So one thing I also want you to note with this tool, sometimes after a while, say you're writing for half an hour or so, the webcam image that's here on the side might suddenly go black. Don't worry about it. As long as you can see your face at the beginning, this actually still captures your picture at the back. So you can actually also close the sidebar so that you, how can I say, are not distracted by the camera on the side. And then we're going to look now exactly how this works. Yes, so this light's blinding me. There we go. So what does this proctoring tool actually do? It takes random pictures. It doesn't record audio. It does not record video. It takes a picture every now and again of you to make sure that it's you that's writing. And that's where it links up to the my modules picture, is to make sure to verify that is you writing the exam. So that's the main purpose of it, is just to confirm who is writing the examination. Now, how do they actually prevent that you can share, for instance, the answers to these type of questions? There are two ways that they do this. One is it's randomized. So you're not going to get the same questions as somebody. They actually draw the questions from large question. It's randomized, so you might not even get one question that's the same as somebody else. So the second way is it's also sequential. So what does that mean? You need to answer the question and then proceed to the next one. So unfortunately, you won't be able to scroll through all the questions and then go back to see, answer the easy ones first, and then go back for the harder ones that you might need to calculate. Unfortunately, you will need to select each one and then proceed to the next one. So I'm just going to select here for this question and then next. As you can see, I can't go back to one because it's already been answered. And once I click next to go to the next question, I will also not be able to go back to the second question. So just note, when you write these examinations, always answer the question, then click next until you answer the other question. At the top, it does have a countdown, so you can more or less, how can I say, see how much questions you still have left versus how much time you have. Just waiting for this one quickly to load, so we can continue to the end. To access mics, I have to use this student skill, or can I just go to the myExams? No, you don't need to go to Student Skills Hub. We will show you exactly how to access the myExams portal. So remember, you're going to write on the myExams portal, not on my modules. But we will show you the steps of how exactly you get there as well. Just want to see here, Moodle proctoring. Let me just see here quickly. If after press start, it doesn't open MQC quiz. So just give it some time. It will sometimes a little bit slow on this platform that we're using here. But just be patient. It should be open that you can open the button and click on it so that you can actually then answer all the questions. But as you can see this evening, not sure why it's running a bit slow. So we'll have to take on ICT again so that it runs faster for you as you test the mock examinations. But also, if you're having a problem where it doesn't open, for instance, what you can do as well is just check your browser, what type of browser you're using. As we said, the recommended one is Microsoft Edge and or Google Chrome. And this applies to especially the Iris students as well, using Iris. Always have the two browsers. I would say have them both. If the one is giving you problems, you can easily jump to the other one. So if, for instance, if the one it's not loading, maybe there's something with a browser update, you can easily jump to the other one, and I'm sure it will work on that side. So as I mentioned, you scroll all your questions, and then once you get to the end, you have to click on Submit All and Finish, and it will give you another pop-up to say Submit All and Finish. So what happens if during this assessment you lose connectivity and you have to connect to it again? The nice thing about this is it actually saves your questions as you go along. So if you just go to a different device, log back in, you continue where you left off. If you unfortunately can't get back in, what it will do is it will submit all the questions that you answered automatically at the end. So you will still be graded on that. So especially if you're struggling at the end to submit, say on a mobile device, don't worry about it. It will automatically submit once the time runs out. So all your questions will still be submitted. So as you can see, please come and do the mock exams for this one. This will really help you to see how the tool works, and then also to make sure that everything is working. And please do it with the device that you will be using on the day of the examinations, so you're not surprised, perhaps a different device having different quirks, or the camera might not work properly. So this brings us now to the second proctoring tool, the Invigilator app. And for this, I'm going to hand over to David. He was very busy in the chat answering all your questions. So now it's time for him to answer all those questions. Thank you, David.
Thanks, Richard. So just do a sound check with me now and then. I just want to make sure, because I know we're in the hotel, so the internet isn't that wonderful at the minute. But I just want to make sure that the sound is coming through clearly. All right, so guys, the Invigilating app, well, okay, for those students who need to write it, please note you don't use all the apps. You only write the ones that actually is for your modules. So that's why it's very important you check out lesson number 3 to make sure that you know which proctoring tools you need to use. So if you've got this little fellow over here, it looks like this, then you will need to be able to run through this demo and make sure that you are prepared. So yes, guys, Google Play, the iPhone store and Huawei are all supported. But so when you look up the Invigilating app, look for the little icon that looks like this. So that's very important. All right, so with the Invigilating app, they normally say it's like your take-home exams, your assignment-only questions. It's very similar to that. The only difference is now it's an exam and you're going to use proctoring. You're going to need to download the app on your smartphone only, guys. No laptops, nowhere else, just on your smartphone. It will work perfectly there. I know there is a laptop version or desktop version, but that is not supported by ICT in the exam department at this point, so you cannot use it. So please make sure you just download the Invigilating app that runs only on your smartphone. If you do have a smartphone and a laptop, that is the perfect situation, because then it will sit next to you and you use your laptop to write the exam. So what will happen is it's going to ask you to take some pictures, and the good news is we've got a demo for you, and then your Invigilating app, and then for you to actually go and practice using the demo just to get a feel for it so that you are ready for your exam. Very importantly, you are going to upload 2 places if you've got the Invigilating app. So the first place you're going to upload your script is indeed inside the Invigilating app. And the second place is where you download your myExams question paper, is the same place you're going to upload your answers as well. So it's 2 places that you need to upload. And that's why it's so important to actually go and practice and do the demo so that you are super comfortable with all the things that you need to do. If you do it a few times, you're actually going to see it's not that scary, actually. Here is the WhatsApp number. So I'm just going to ask Richard to post it in the chat because I've only got one screen currently. So please make sure that you are you've got this number handy. It's only for WhatsApps, so no calling. You can't call it, and they do respond very, very quickly. So yes, so any technical problems, please contact these guys as soon as you come across it so that you are sorted. Right, where do we download? Okay, so we already spoke about the different places that you can download the app, so make sure that you've done that already. And of course, it is 4 hours or less. So you can't, so if you've got an exam that's running for the whole day, it's definitely not going to be applicable. So therefore, please make sure you've checked your modules, make sure you know which proctoring tools you need to use. Please go check your announcements for each module because your lecturer would have told you already what is coming up. Some tips, guys, please make sure your operating system's up to date. So if that's your laptop, your smartphone, any of the software that you're going to use, Microsoft Word, for example, make sure those things are all up to date, okay, before you get to your exam, because you don't want to be having updates running when you're actually meant to be writing an exam. So even if you've come back, and this might be the 2nd time or 3rd time using this proctoring tool, please make sure it's up to date. So if you just go to your store, it'll automatically say if it needs to be updated or not, or it's okay to be opened. So that's very, very important. Okay, so as I said to you, the ideal situation is when you write the exam with 2 devices, so you can use your laptop, your PC, or your tablet. You write there on myExams. Okay, so you go download it in your browser, type up the answer, sorted. The Invigilating app then will only run on your smartphone. If you've only got a smartphone, then you're pretty much going to do everything with your smartphone itself. So that just means you've got a little bit of more practice to do just to make sure that you're comfortable doing it that way. Okay, how does it work, guys? Well, normally it's about 2 weeks before your exam, so you can actually start trying already. See if you can register yourself on the app, and I'm going to show you the steps as well, what you need to fill in. But definitely try and see if the system says, okay, you can. If it doesn't, keep trying, because definitely 72 hours before your exam, it has to be registered. So, and ICT handles that with the proctoring app colleagues. So that number is quite handy. So if you're still having trouble, send them a WhatsApp and they should be able to set up your account for you, or at least the activating of the license for you. We are going to quickly run through the steps on how to set up the app. So the very first time, from the registration to some of the little installations that it does. And then we must be able to test. So that's a critical step, is to, once you've gone through all these steps and the app is working, go and do the demo to get a feel for it. The demo is only 8 minutes long, but it's going to basically show you all the type of things that you're going to need to do, including that ping noise that will alert you so that you get comfortable with it beforehand. All right, so once you've downloaded the app, right? So there's this little guy with the L. Once you download, you open the app, it's going to say to you, all right, you need to log into the app. Now, if it's your first time, that's perfect. You're just going to say, don't have an account option. You're going to whack it there or click on it, and then it's going to open this little page. Very, very importantly, make sure you select UNISA. Okay, that's where you're studying. Fill in your student number, no spaces, guys, just straight number, first name, last name, surname, that's fine. Your email address must be your MyLife email address. So make sure you've done it correctly, because, well, it has to be correct. Otherwise, you're not going to get the verification email. So just go and check what is your email address. It's student number at mylife.unisa.ac.za. Okay, make sure it's there. Put in your cell phone number. Then you're going to create your own password. There was a question about, this is my first time. Am I going to use it for your whole studies? Most likely you will. But make sure you remember the password, or use the same password as myUNISA, because that's a password you're always going to need to know. So yeah, that's a good idea over there. But remember, you're creating your own password, MyLife email. Then what will happen is it's going to say, okay, we need to confirm your account. So once you've completed this step, you need a PIN that you need to type in. So this point, you're going to quickly go check your MyLife email, and you should see an email looking something like this, saying, hello, your student number at MyLife. And that's the PIN code that it needs. So you're going to go type it in and zap the button, and then it's going to say, well done. And then it's going to say you need to accept all the rest so that you can then actually continue with the setup. So you don't really have a choice. So you click on accept, and it basically tells you what the system's going to do. Then it'll say welcome. You say wonderful. You click on continue. It's not a problem. And then it's going to say to you, all right, I need to access some of the things on your phone, but only when the app is running. All right, so you kind of have to allow it as well. And then you're going to say, fine, now that you've got access, let's quickly test out all the parts of your device to make sure it's working. So you can again click on continue. Remember, this is a once-off, guys. You're only going to do it once. After this, then the app is set up. First check it's going to do is a selfie check. So you say, okay, fine, we're going to do a selfie check. You click on continue. It says, attention, I want to quickly test your camera's front side camera, because you need to do a selfie, right? So you're going to say, all right, cool. Click on continue. You should see yourself. You should see this sort of white outline, not the L, hopefully, unless you look like this, but no, I hope not. Then you're going to just try and put your face in there, and you're going to hit the button here at the bottom to take a picture of yourself. Remember now, it's just testing your device, okay, to make sure everything's working. So that's perfect. Once it goes past that, then it's going to say, okay, take your student card or your ID or your driver's license and put it on a table, and then click continue. Aim your front side camera now to it, right? get it all nicely in the screen, and then hit the capture button, because now it's testing that part of your phone. If that is correct, great stuff. Then you can click on start. Then it's going to say, okay, we're going to scan a document check as well. So great. So you're going to say, click on start, put any paper down, put your tutorial letter for now. It's not a problem. Put it on a flat surface, take a picture, try to remain steady, okay? Because you'll see AI is trying to line up the document for you. Although, Richard, when you've done this, it looked like a bit of an angle. So try to get it nice and square as well. All right, so you hit the button, it will take a nice snap. Done. Then it's going to say, fine, after this check, now we're going to test your microphone. So your microphone must also be working, hey? So you click on start. Then what's going to happen, you're going to hear this very loud little ping noise, right? So even at night when you're sleeping, you're probably going to hear it still. Okay, hopefully not that bad. Okay, so then you can click the test sound button a few times just to get used to that ping noise. And you kind of have to be able to hear it. So if you're not hearing it, please check your device's volume, because it might just be the volume switched down. Okay, so go pump up the volume, hear the ping, and then you can say yes. Unfortunately, if it's no, guys, then you've got a problem with the sound. So that means you can't continue. And that's a big problem. So you have to say yes. But of course, you can use anyone's device, guys. But please do the demo as we're showing you. Then what's going to happen is, okay, once you've done all those checks, it's going to say, right, now we need a master photo. So this is quite an important picture that you're going to take. Again, you're going to click on take selfie. Again, you're going to put yourself there and you're going to take a picture. Now, this is the one, the master photo is going to stay on the app. And that's the one that AI is going to use to make sure that it's you writing the exam and not somebody else. If you do by some accident, and it does happen, unfortunately, people take a picture of the master and they accidentally hit the button. I don't know how many accidents they could possibly do in this step, but apparently they can. And then they take a bad looking pic. All right, then it really moves on to the next phase. All you're going to do is you're going to contact that WhatsApp number and you'll say to them, this is my student number. I made a boo-boo with my master photo. Please erase it so I can re-add it. And they will gladly assist you with that. So don't panic if it doesn't come up perfect, and don't worry about makeup and all those things. You look fine anyway. All right, then it's going to say, great, now you're actually ready to use the app. So you can give it a spin, see how it works, and it's going to say you're going to need a QR code, right? Where do we get the QR code? Now, in your practice exam, the demo, we are going to show you where to access it. So it's on the myExam, no, not myExam, it's on the My Student Skills Hub. That's where you will find it, and we'll show you where it is. So you can either type it in, there's the example, you can either type it in or just scan it in, but I'll show you where to access it. And then you can actually start the demo itself. Now for your actual exam paper, guys, you will get this with your question paper. So they'll give it to you then. So 15 minutes before your exam, you would just check the announcements from the lecturer, or on the exam paper itself, this is where you'll find the QR code. Okay, so that's normally where you find it. So yep, once you scan in the QR code or you type in the code itself, it's either way, it's perfect. It will confirm, and that's where your master selfie now is popping up. So you should be able to see yourself and then your contact details. So you say, yeah, that is me. You say yes. Or if you say no, guys, then you're obviously not going to use the app. It'll go back to the previous page. So you kind of have to say yes. So hopefully that is you then. Then it says your assessment is about to start. Now, it is a demo, which is fine, but please do click on the test sound, okay? Because that's the critical little guy, the ping noise, and make sure your volume on your phone is loud enough that you can easily hear it. Right, then you're going to click on start, and then it's going to just say to you, okay, fine. So this whole process, we're going to show you how it runs from start to finish. So let's go through the practice itself. First thing is, do not leave the app. The app needs to stay running. It doesn't need internet the whole time, only in the beginning and at the end, but you do need the app to stay running. So please do not close it. Please do not switch off your phone. Please do not lock your phone. Ideally, you just need to take off that setting for the exams, guys. So it needs to just sit next to you. Ideally, let your phone charge next to you, and so that it doesn't go flat or anything like that. But take away the settings of your phone that closes it or locks it, okay? So just so that you can see it, that you can interact with it very, very quickly. What will happen is, now during this 8 minutes, you're going to take some pictures and things, and you're actually going to see them popping up over here. So it gives you a nice way of actually looking at what you've actually taken pictures of. So it's actually quite a quick way to test, okay, this is how it's working. And there you see, there's your access to the browser. Just for those that are only using their smartphone, go test it out as well. Then it's going to say to you, attention. So it's going to ping the noise. You're going to look at your phone and it's going to say, please take a photo of your ID. So it means it needs to be close. Student card, ID, driver's license. Then you get passport. You can just take a quick picture of it. So you click continue. You quickly put it there. You take a picture, hit the button. All right. Later on, it's going to say, okay, attention again. Take a picture of yourself. Then just like you did before, put your face, take a quick pic, move on to the next one. And what will happen is as you're completing these, you'll actually see the images will start popping up as well. Then right at the 8 minutes, and this is something you need to go and practice, you've got to upload your script. So in other words, you're going to pretty much demonstrate exactly how you upload your script, and you're actually going to go practice it. So have a document there that's about 10 pages long, a good practice, and see how quickly you can actually take those 10 pictures. So it's on your laptop, it's perfect. If it's handwritten, it's fine. But make sure the lighting in your room is very good, okay? Make sure that you're close as possible, so the image is as clear as possible. And obviously, the clearing is very, very important, guys, because if we can't see what you've written, we as in exams, not me, then obviously it's going to be difficult for them to mark it, all right? So make sure the images are as clear as possible. So this is where the demo comes in, that you need to practice this thing. So all you're going to do is you're going to have your pages there, you're going to hit the button, and you're going to go to the next page, hit the button, next page, hit the button, and once you're done, you're going to hit the done button. Then what the nice thing is, it's going to take all those images of you, what you've taken, and it's automatically going to convert it into a PDF for you, which is brilliant because now you don't have to worry about converting anything. It's done. Then you're going to click on Upload PDF. So that's your script. And it's going to confirm, do you want to do this? You say, yes, thank you. Then you're going to get a reference. So make sure you keep this reference, guys, just to make sure if there are any queries, because this reference is what you can give to that WhatsApp number. If you've got any problems, then at least you know, okay, great, this is the reference that I've just completed this process. If everything is perfectly done fine, then you should get this message saying, well done, all the files were uploaded. Okay, so that means when your data is back on again, then easily enough, it can actually update itself. I do know Cornelia did say it can take up to 48 hours, guys, so just keep trying, make sure the data is on so that the device can upload. Then here's also a really cool thing. You can share the PDF with yourself. So you can even share it to WhatsApp, your email, your Gmail account, or even your My Life account. And the nice thing is that what you've just uploaded, you can share it with yourself and then use that same PDF and go upload it on the myExams platform. All right, so that's also really nice. Then you don't have to worry about having two different documents because remember, they need to be identical. All right, so then you go back to, there we go, here's an example. So you go to your My Life email, you go find the PDF that they send to you, you quickly download it on your phone, then you go back to the myExams platform, the same place where you downloaded the question paper, you're going to then click on it and go upload your answer sheet. Okay, so that's a nice way then of doing it. So remember 2 uploads that you need to do. The time element always comes up, guys. So this is very, very important. And we did share the link with you as well. That's critical. Who to contact if you are experiencing a problem. Not David and Richard. We're not part of the exams guys, all right? We're actually just showing you the tools and how the tools work and how to maximize them. So very importantly, we will share that with you again in the chat so you know exactly who you need to contact. So 15 minutes before your exam. So if it's 9 o'clock, 15 minutes before, that's when the exam platform opens. You can go log into it, download your paper, get the QR code, open the Invigilating app, scan it in. Great stuff. It's ready to rock and roll. And then at the start time, the exam then will begin. Then you've got 30 minutes after the start time. So by 9:30 in this example, if you haven't started the app with the QR code, then the exam automatically will close for you, or at least the app will, which means then you're late and you cannot write the exam anymore. Okay. Then at the end of the exam, let's say it's 11 o'clock, right? So that's the end from 9 to 11, you wrote your exam. You've got 10 minutes then to upload the invigilating app process. So that's taking the pictures of your laptop screen. That's fine, but remember, practice this, get the hang of it, make sure those pictures are nice and clear as possible. You need to complete this process. Then you still got another 20 minutes because remember 10 minutes starts already, then you still up to 30 minutes. You've got the My Exam site then will close for submission. So that's the place where you download your question paper and then you upload the same script. Okay, remember they must be the same. And then that will close. And then of course, if you've missed that, then unfortunately it's a boo-boo. You have obviously then won't pass the exam. So guys, this is very important to work through and understand. So this time is not for writing the exam. This is only for completing the processes. And yes, it is possible to do 10, 15 pages within 10 minutes. It just takes a bit of practice. All right, so make sure you are aware of this time. But again, go check your announcements from your lecturers. Make sure that everything is clear to you. But then please go do the demo because it really, really will make a big difference. Guys, this number, the 073-505-8273 is critical. Please make sure you save it on your phone. If you have a technical problem during your exam, contact these guys. It's fine. It's not going, you will not be penalized for it because this is seeking support. So it's absolutely perfect. So WhatsApp only, no calls, and then I'll tell them exactly what you're experiencing. Send screenshots if you can, because that will also help them be able to resolve your problem much quicker. All right, so that's from the technical point of view as well. So now we're going to hand back to Richard, who's then going to show you how iris invigilating works. I did see there's quite a number of questions also popping up about iris. So let's have a look and see how we set up iris. Go do the practice exam, make sure it works perfectly, and then of course, just go and study your work. So back to you, Richard.
Thank you, David. Yes, there's a lot of questions for you regarding the Invigilator app. Let me just quickly start sharing my screen. So just also note, students, say you prefer to print out your question paper. What you do, you tell it, I'm just quickly going to print so that what's happening. It does block out all the background noises automatically. So also don't worry, say a kid comes in, your kid asking a question, or your mom comes in asking if you want some coffee. Even though if you might get flagged for it, so remember somebody, an actual person will actually go listen to that and they will determine if any misconduct took place. So if they just hear somebody asking if you want coffee, they're not going to take it further from that. They'll just remove the flag. And that the same applies if you're going to the bathroom. Just let the app know. You don't need to take it right into the bathroom with you. Just have it close by so you can still hear the notifications. And then lastly, the phone can be placed down. It does not record video the whole time. It only takes pictures. When it asks you to take a picture, that's the only video it takes, or photographs it takes. It does not take video. It only records sound and in the background, and then ask you to do when the prompts come, to take a photo of yourself or your surroundings. So you just follow all the steps. I'm just going to place the mock exam for iris in the chat again, so that you've got quick, not iris, for the Invigilator app, so you've got quick access to it. Now, just a reminder, those that get the message that your email has not been verified, that just means that your license has not been assigned yet. So please just send your MyLife email and your modules that you're going to be using the Invigilator app for to the WhatsApp number, and they will help you activating it a bit quicker. Also, you can just wait till about a week before your exams and then install the iris application. By then, you should have your license already assigned to you. Okay, so we're going to start now with, let me just scroll through all of these ones, with iris invigilation. Now, as we noted, iris is only used by the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. So if you in College of Human Sciences, Education, all of that, you will not be using Iris Invigilation. And then this only works on a laptop or a desktop. So where the Invigilator app only works on a mobile device, this one you will need a laptop or a desktop. And you will need to install the extension on either Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, preferably both. So you've got a backup. And remember, your device does require a microphone, camera, and webcam. Now, one thing about Iris is this is the one that's, how can I say, almost the most hectic one, because it does not just record audio, such as the Invigilator app, and ask you to take a picture. This one actually records your screen. It records your facial movements. It also records, how can I say, yeah, basically everything. Sound, GPS, all of that is determined by the app. So it's got AI actually tracking your eyes as well. But don't be scared of it. It is still a very easy one to use, and I will share the mock exam as well for the specific one. Now, I'm going to paste in the link to the resources in the chat. So please open up this page. This is where all the resources are. Now, as I mentioned, this is a extension. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to visit the official Iris website. Now, as with the Invigilator app, this is also a third-party tool that's being used by UNISA. So and they actually have their own support page as well for UNISA students. So the link to the access now is in the chat. So if you have not downloaded, you can come here and then download it for either Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. They also have the latest guides on how to install it on both Mac and Windows. And then also the specifications, exactly what it does, and so you know what this app is doing in the background. Now, I do like this that they have the recommendations as well. I specifically want you to look at this one, 8 GB of RAM. I know a lot of the laptops, especially that you get, is 4 GB. So please just have a look at how much RAM you have, as the recommended one is 8 GB. Obviously, you need a Windows 10 or Mac OS, and the hard drive is not that bad. It's only 200 megabytes plus, more or less. So you don't need a lot of space, but make sure there is some space available. And then obviously you need the latest version of Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. Now from this page, another one that I also want to highlight here with the support is, say, for instance, camera not working. Let's say camera here. So Iris does not recognize my microphone or webcam. It gives you exactly the steps to do if that is not working on your device. So from here, I'm going to click on the Microsoft Edge version because I'm currently using Microsoft Edge in this browser. I'm going to click on the Microsoft Edge one. Now, I'm just quickly going to remove it. So you can see it's very easy to remove as well. You know, after you've written your exam, you can just remove it and then next exams install it again. What I do want you to notice, when you click on Get, you'll notice here it gives you this, you know, the extension can read and change all your data on all websites. Sounds a bit crazy. Capture the content on your screen. So this is the, how can I say, what it can do. And a lot of people might have security concerns. So what you can do is just install it before your exam and then remove it right after. Now, the reason why it's got this general one, it's going to access all your data, is if you're doing the MCQ assessment, it has to place in the password for you. And that's why it's got this message. And that's the only thing that it really does with the content in your browser, is just that to place in the QR code. So even though it's got this warning, that's the general one, it does not do anything more than that. So you just said get and then add extension. And it will give you this, how can I say, you'll notice this little puzzle piece is rotating as it's downloading and installing it. So it will say Iris is now installed. So I can actually go there and view extension and I can see Iris is here. And I've also got some additional options here, to remove it very quickly, or even manage extensions and things like that as well. Now, what you do with this one is very easy. You don't need to do everything specific. You just access the exam. It can either be the MCQ or a take-home exam, and it will start automatically. So let me just quickly close up this one. And then I'm actually going to close this one as well. So it'll be on this page. So at the bottom, there's also the IRIS mock exam. So after you install this plugin, it will display here at the top. So you've, I'm going to say, got quick access to it. So as you saw now, I pinned it as well, so I can easily access all the additional features does it have. So you just right click and pin it, or you can even then unpin it as well. But I would actually recommend for your examinations just to pin it to the top. So you just click on this little pin and you've got quick access to it. Because then you can access these tools like the finalized recording. So we had somebody that said, my iris is not uploading, close it, and then say finalize recording. So this forces the upload to go through. You can also refresh iris. So if it's giving you problems, just refresh it on here. But what I do recommend is if you're using Chrome, have Microsoft Edge as a backup. So you do know you can quickly switch browsers if anything happens. Now, as we mentioned, there are two types. It's the MCQ and the file upload assessments that you need to do for this one. So I'm just going to click on here, the file upload assessment. And you'll then see that IRIS pops up automatically. So it opens up in this window. Because I uninstalled it, I'll just have to restore my session. And then it gives you the usage agreement. Now, first thing is to agree to the terms and conditions. And basically that you're going to be proctored and it's going to record your screen and all of that. You'll notice when I click this button, this gray button goes to blue, so I can actually continue. I do not need to click the consent for data usage. So that's your, you can decide on that one, but I just generally leave it as agree to the terms and conditions to get on with it. And then unfortunately, I get this message. More than one screen has been detected. Please disconnect any additional screens. Now, I know College of Science, Engineering, Technology, scientists, mathematicians, we all like to use our second screens for productivity. But unfortunately, with this Invigilator app, you may only use one. So let me quickly just disconnect one of these monitors. So I'm just going to Windows E for selecting what the display is. Okay, so now I can share my screen again. So if I now go back to the Invigilator app, you'll notice even though I'm using one screen now, I can't continue. So what I do is I just close this down. And then you go to your IRIS instance again, where you're going to be assessed. I'm just going to go back to the mock exam. So yeah, all I need to do is refresh the page. Or you can always go back and click on the link, the assessment again for it to pop up again. So yeah, I click on the usage agreement again so that it can continue. But now you can see I can select my webcam. So here it will show you your picture. And then from here, I click next. Then you select your microphone. So I'm just going to select the default one. Once you select it, you should actually see, I just want to see here quickly this one. Let's see if this one will work. No. And micro stereo mix. But what you should actually see is, I think my microphone is used by another program, these little white green bars jumping here up and down so that does show you that it is recording sound. But as long as it accepts it, you can click next. Then you type in your full name, so that will be your name and surname. You click next, then you type in your student number. Then you click next. So you notice you don't need to add spaces or anything like that. I think I forgot to take my ID card, my access card. So let me use this card over here. So it will ask you to capture your ID card. So remember, ID card does not just mean your ID. It can be any photo identification. So this can be your driver's license, passport, your actual ID, or even if you've got a UNISA access card, you may use that as well. So all you need to do here is you hold it up to the screen so it's clearly visible, and then you select capture ID card. Once it's captured, it will show over there, and I can click next. Now it's going to ask you to take a scan of the room. So this one is a bit tricky sometimes with the laptop. If you've got a webcam, for instance, you can just remove it and rotate it around. But basically all you do is you just say start scan, and then you rotate to show the entire area where you'll be writing from. This one is unfortunately a very, very hotel room that you can see because we're visiting a school here tomorrow. But yes, just scan the room and then afterwards stop scan. So it will then actually show the picture again of how it's actually scanning the area. Then you can click next. You will get this pop-up over here. Now, this pop-up is shown because this is where most people get stuck. I'll show you why. So yeah, I can just say, okay, and I can share my screen. Now, it already told me I might only use one screen, but now I can't click on share this one screen that I'm on, because although it's just one screen, I still need to click on it so it gets this blue border and then click on share. So once that's done, I can start my assessment. So I click on the blue button, start assessment.
The recording has started.
And then I can close my this box. So what you do in this time, you go down, follow the steps, download your question paper. You open it up. And then you can see all the questions. So remember, you can do this 15 minutes before the exam starts. And as David Pence also mentioned, remember, it doesn't help you log in 20 minutes and sit there and wait for it to magically unlock. 15 minutes before the time, just refresh the page again and the exam will open for you. So this is where you don't either write it out by hand, if allowed, or you type it out in Microsoft Word or any other tools that you're allowed to use. Preferably only have minimal tabs open. So for instance, you can have obviously your My Life email open, you need to get quick access to it, but try and keep the tabs to a minimum, not have any unnecessary tabs open. So this is the time where you then basically go to Microsoft Word. I'm just going to use this one quickly. You write out your exam, and then afterwards go save it as a PDF document. So you go save as. If allowed, you can even upload the docx Word file as well. But I know a lot of the courses actually ask you to upload a PDF document. So you go save as, click on the drop down, select PDF instead of the docx. You save this to your computer, and then you can come back to the assessment. So remember, the same applies with the Invigilator app. You've got 30 minutes at the end to upload, but it's only for uploading. So once that time is reached, you come back to the assessment portal where you downloaded the question paper. I'm just quickly going to remove the submission. And then you select add a submission. So you upload the PDF document and any other files that's required. Just going to continue here. I think the site is very busy tonight with everybody preparing. So we'll just have a bit of patience for it to upload. So yes, you'll see also here at the bottom, Iris is running. At this time, everything is still progress recording. You can see it even tracks your face, where you're looking at, all of that. They know the science people are very smart, so that's why you get the most difficult one, I think. But afterwards, when you're ready, you come to add submission. Always with any submission, you have to acknowledge that this is your own work. You can see what's the maximum file size and how many files you can upload, and also what types of files are accepted. So in this case, it's PDF, but you might also be allowed to upload, for instance, a docx file or any other types of files that you have to submit. So then I click here on add. So I can always drag and drop in, but if you're on a mobile device, you just click on add. Make sure you're on upload. So if you accidentally click on one of these other ones, just make sure you're on upload a file. And then from here, you can click on choose file. And this will open up your device's navigation. So from here, I can just quickly go to, say, myExams, and then select my PDF document that I saved of my answers. So I upload that document, and then I can save changes. Now, one recommendation I do suggest is that once you've submitted, you scroll down and click on the file that you submitted. A lot of times in that rush to upload, you accidentally click the wrong file, and then you end up a tutorial letter that's got the same module code as the file that you saved it in. So just always, once it's done, click on the file to make sure that it is the correct one that you have uploaded. And then basically you have completed your submission. Now, if you're still within the 30-minute period and you realize, oh, I've uploaded the wrong file, you can always go edit submission and then upload the correct one. So once you submit it, then you go back to Iris. It will be in your taskbar. You have to click on finish recording. You have to drag this over to really make sure that you don't accidentally click it. And then you click on yes. So the processing of this will start. It will start.
The recording has stopped.
Stop the recording. It will start uploading all of these files that's been capturing through the session. You can see at the top there is an audio bar as well. If it gets stuck along the way, especially if you've written quite a long one, remember they do give you a grace period for the uploads to be finalized. So, don't worry if it takes long and it gets stuck. I'll show you now what you need to do in case it does get stuck. So as you can see, it does take, can take quite some time depending on how long your exam has been. So I'll just leave that quickly. It's almost done. Uploading the video file and then uploading screen file and their recordings, and we're done. So now I can actually close this Iris. But remember, say it did get stuck, didn't want to go forward for a very long time. You click on this, right click on the icon, and you say finalize recordings. Now it will also go through if there's any other recordings that still needs to be uploaded, you can upload it still again. So that's just in case you do have any problems. Now I do want you to note if there's anybody using Iris for MCQ assessments, there is a little bit of a difference to it. So I'm just going to show you quickly. The setup is exactly the same. You have to select your webcam, you have to select your microphone, you have to type in your own name. I'm just going to quickly do this one. And then you have to type in your student number. You have to capture your ID again. You have to share your screen again. That one, share. You see, you don't need to take a 360 view. That's lucky. And then you click next. Now you start the assessment.
The recording has started.
So then you go back to your MCQ, and then you start here, reattempt quiz. Now you'll notice here's a password that needs to be inserted. So if you click on there, it's automatically filled in by the Iris. So you're not actually going to see what they're not going to provide you the password beforehand. It's filled in automatically, and then you click on Start Attempt. Now, if it happens that it is not filled in automatically, you can click on this Insert Password, and then it will insert the password as well. So just note that one difference for MCQ is going to ask you for a password. The password is provided by Iris. They're not giving you the password on the actual question paper. So I'm just quickly gonna go back here to Teams. Just gonna activate my screen quickly. So that's it basically for Iris. So remember, there's only 3 types of exams. There's the Moodle proctoring, the Iris invigilation, and then the Invigilator app. So remember as well, you will always just use one of them. Let me just share my screen here again. Stop sharing. Now we're going to go to a second part of it, and that is now accessing your exams. So especially the student that mentioned that you having problems, so it says user undefined. We're going to show you now exactly what you can perhaps have a look at. So I'm just going to start this slideshow quickly. Then just make sure I'm sharing. Okay, so writing your exams is very easy to access the myExams portal. Remember, you're not going to write on modules, but you can access the exam portal from myUnisa. From there, you click on the myExams portal link. You select the module that you will be writing on the day, and that will open up your college's instance of the exam. Click on myExams, click on the day, and then finally you click on your module, and it will open up the exams portal where you log in with your MyLife email address and then also your myUnisa password. So let's quickly just have a look how this works. So if I open up my browser, so I'm going to go back to myUnisa. Now note, you don't need to log into my modules. You just come down here to important links. You click on my exams. So it will list today's dates, and then I think it's now 6 days in advance. So I really suggest if you're going to be writing in 7 days, come and do this already. Make sure you can access it, that you don't get that error of user undefined. Now, if I click on this one, so let's say it's the 14th today. You click on your module code that you'll be writing. I can also see that this will be Iris. Now you'll see it will open up this login screen, but I really want you to focus on this aspect of it, the link here at the top. You'll see there it says CSET, my exam. So that's the name of the college. So if I click on this one, if I go back, and I click, for instance, in one of these other ones, this one is state due. So if I try and log into this one, because this is the College of Education, so let's see what it will give me with this profile that I have on here. I will get this error, call to undefined function user create. Now, the reason why you get this error is because it's on the incorrect college. If I do it with this one, this is CSET. Yeah, I will be able to log in. because I'm at the correct college. So that's why it's very important to select the correct module. Now, if you go and have a look and you still have get that error, even if you have selected the actual module you'll be writing, that's when you reach out to exam inquiries and the support later that will show you so they can activate your user account. But remember, you have to log into the correct instance for your college that will be written, else you will not have, how can I say, a profile on there. Now, as you can see, it looks exactly like my modules, except the top where we've got my exams, and then you select the module that you'll be writing. Now, if 7 days beforehand, what you will see, you can actually click on the drop down, your modules will be listed. You can click on the module code as well, the course site. You can actually access the welcome message with the guides and all of that, but obviously you won't be able to access the actual assessment. That will only become available 15 minutes beforehand for written exams, and obviously MCQs, you'll have to just log in on the time that it's starting. If you're waiting beforehand, you can always just refresh the page and it will then pop up and show you the correct one. But as you can see with the drop down, exactly with my modules, you access your module codes from there. Now this brings me to the assessment types. Just a quick note, we've seen already MCQ exams. This is basically the quiz activity. We also have the take-home exam. This uses the assignments tool where you have to upload a document or you write it out in Word and save it as a PDF. But then there's also this last one. If you get this on your exam timetable, module arrangement, just as the name applies, it's your module that is going to arrange this assessment. So it's not going to happen on exams portal. This is usually things like a portfolio, a collection of work, something that you have to submit, and you do this on my modules. And you have to find out from your academic, when is it due, what are the requirements, so that you know exactly when to submit. So very importantly, look for the announcements on this one. Make sure you keep track of your My Life emails, so because your lecturer will let you know when this is written. And remember, this is not written on my exams. Only these two types of assessments are written on my exams. So this brings me to the end of this section. Then for the last section, David will just take you through all the different types of support that's available. You will also have noticed Mrs. Quena also in the chat, assisting you very quickly, and she will also show you how to get in touch with them. So thank you, David.
All right, thanks, Richard. So, yep, let me get on here. I see Cornelia is with us, but let me quickly just get the presentation going. Thank you for all the questions. I hope it's helping, guys. Just please remember, always go to your modules, check what the lecturers are telling you, read those announcements that you know exactly what's expected from you. That's the best way to make sure that you're up to date. All right, so regional support. So please note there are campuses all around the country. So please do go and visit those campuses before your exams, not on the day of your exam, to make sure that your technology, your hardware is working, that you want to do. There are computer labs, so go see the people that work in the computer labs. They're called digital learning advisors. They're very clued up. They can also sit with you so that you can work through the different proctoring tools to make sure that you are ready. And of course, if you have any questions or any issues, then definitely they can also assist you there on the ground. But please make sure you do it way before your exam and not on the day of your exam. All right, so I just quickly want to show you, where do we get this information? Where do we find the regional service centers? Okay, so you go to myUnisa. You've done this like a billion times already. So what you do is, there it is, student support and regions. And you can simply just go select the regional centers. How this works is, we've got all our different regions. Now, it might not make sense to you, because when we're talking about Midlands, what am I actually talking about? Then I'm speaking about Northern Cape, Free State, Northwest Province. That's your Midlands region. Northeastern, it's Limpopo and Mpumalanga. Okay, so that one is the northeastern region. And then, of course, all the other provinces are pretty straightforward, but including Ethiopia, our neighbors right in the north of the world. So if you needed to go find more information, let's say, for example, KwaZulu-Natal, I can click on it, and then I can simply click on Contact Us. And then it'll tell me this is where all the centers are. So you've got the contact number, you've got the email address, and you've got where they're located. So it's very, very important. Go and see these people. If you've got any questions, go sit down with them and run through all the queries that you have. So when it comes to that exam time, that you are seriously prepared, that you know exactly what's going on. That's a critical thing. Then we're going to hand over to the Student Support Contact Center. Now, these guys are also critical. So when you've got problems, how do you contact them? So I'm going to hand over to Cornelia, who's going to briefly tell you guys how to contact them. So that's very, very important. So listen closely. Over to you, Cornelia.
Thank you, Richard. Good evening, students and colleagues. My name is Gwanele. I am from Student Communication Service Center. Our role is to bridge the gap between the students and the university. However, today I will just focus on how you can get in touch with us during this important time in your academic journey. We have about 4 entry points, which is telephone, email, social media, which is Twitter and Facebook, and we also have web chat. So you can reach us using 0800 001870 for national students. And please note, this is a toll-free number. Ensure that you press or rather choose option 4 for exam-related enquiries. For our international students, you can call us on 012-429-3111 and please choose option 4, because if you do not do that, you will stay on the line. During this period, we ensure that we have enough colleagues that will assist you in that option. So please, I cannot stress it enough to choose the correct option. We have an email platform, we have general inquiries, we have data inquiries, we have my module, and we have exam inquiries at unisa.ac.za, which is important during this period. We also have inquiries that are related to your myUnisa, myLife, as well as MFA, which is my life help at unisa.ac.za. We have social chats via the corporate page, as I have mentioned, Facebook and Twitter. We also have the web chat via corporate page and myExam. This is also important during this period. We have warm bodies behind that option. So if you are experiencing challenges during your exam, please do not hesitate to contact us via telephone and web chat. We'll be able to assist you. I advise that we use mostly those platforms. You can also email us as well, but if you are experiencing a challenge there and there, you need to be assisted and you are willing to continue writing, you need to give us a call or chat with us. When you communicate with us, kindly ensure that your student number, the full description of your challenge, and the module code, as well as the print screen of the error where applicable. So when you give us a call, for example, you need to come down, please, so that you are able to provide us with the challenge, so that we are able to assist you. When you decide to communicate with us, or when you choose an option to communicate with us via email, kindly ensure that you use myLife email account so that we are able to assist you promptly. We have an escalation process which we hardly use because if you are well prepared, you will really not have much of challenges in accessing your exam question paper, uploading it, submitting it. So you need to familiarize yourself with the module, the proctoring tool that you will be using for that specific module. But we do have escalation. We have a supervisor. We have 2 managers, one based in Pretoria and the other one based in Florida campus. The information is available on the website. The email address We have 3 of them for the managers as well as the supervisor. But we hardly use this process, as I have explained, because we are able to resolve most of your inquiries during that telephone conversation, chat, and email. We also have an escalation, which is our deputy director, Ms. Sifulo. We hardly use that option. We are able to resolve your inquiries in your first point of contact. Also have this option. Remember, I spoke about the live chat, the one that I said it's very important. It's on the website, corporate page on myExam platform. So you are most welcome to communicate with us. And then we also have this option MFA, which it is important, especially when you change your contact details. You need to inform the institution because you will not be able to access MyLife and MyUnisa, so as myExam platform. So if you change your contact details, there's a form that you need to fill, send it back with your ID copy and give us a call in receipt of that case number, which starts with #. So you will fill the form, attach your ID, send it back. You would immediately receive the case number, give us a call so that we are able to change your date, update your contact details. And also, if you lose your cell phone or misplace it, we need to remove it on our side. If your option was to use the app, so you need to provide us with that information that you're no longer using that cell phone number that you used when uploading or rather downloading the app to authenticate. When you call us regarding the change of your cell phone number, kindly choose option 2. You will be assisted. We have people that will deal with your inquiry immediately. And that's it from my side. Thank you for your attention and good luck with your examination. Thank you, Richard.
Thanks, Cornelia. No problem. It's David speaking. I know we sound the same. All right, so yeah, Richard's a
My apology.
No, it's fine, no problem. Okay, guys, so one other element that is also very important, so students with special needs, right? There is a contact center that we've called UpSuite. They are there to assist you. So if you do need to apply for special exams, there are the email addresses. I have posted it now in the chat as well. It might be a little bit late now for this exam period because we're quite literally already in it, but it is very handy to keep this information. They will guide you with regards to any disability that you may have and how then you would approach your exams, because maybe you won't need to do proctoring, for example, and obviously based on the disability, it does make sense. So guys, if you do know someone or if it's yourself, you need to be a little bit brave on this one. Send them an email, fill in the forms, get the doctor's certificate that you will need, and then there will be a benefit at least for you with regards to exams. So yes, it's quite important. So let's share, let's support each other, because that's critical as well. And that brings us to the end of the session, colleagues. I see students were asking with regards to, is this the last session for the training sessions? We are still having a session on this Thursday coming. Please take note, it's going to be 5:30, not 9 a.m. as we advertise. So you will see the link. We will send out an SMS for 5:30. The difference is last session, guys, is where we open the mics, where you can actually come ask us questions. It's not just going to be the chat that you're using. You're going to ask us questions. We're going to open the mic, tell us where you're struggling, so that we can assist you. So what do you need to do from here? Please go to the My Modules platform, not My Modules, My Student Skills Hub. We'll post it in the chat for you. Go and tackle the myExams course that we've got there, where we've actually covered everything that we've shown you tonight. It has the links for the demos, the MOOCs, all the information you actually need. Work through that information. If you're still having problems, come join us on Thursday evening and then come tell us where exactly your problems are so that we can be able to assist you. From my side, all the best for your exams. I'm just going to hand over back to Richard just to give a final word. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you, David, and thank you everybody for joining. All the best with your exams, and we hope you do very well. Please come join us on Thursday if you have any more questions regarding the proctoring tools. And remember to do the mock exams to make sure everything is working, so you have enough time to reach out for assistance. But yes, I'm sure all of you will do very good in these exams, and we will see you in the next one. All the best. Goodbye.